if you follow the channel, you've probably seen my short about wanting to save this car. And well, guess what? It followed me home. Now this thing looks rough, but I don't think it's as bad as what it actually looks. So first things first, a lot of people will say, wash it. Now, I promised the previous owner that I would clean it out and give everything that he had left inside of it back to him. Kais is gonna come out, help me clean out the interior. That way we can get all that back to the original owner. And hopefully we can get the windows down in this and make it smell a little bit better on the inside. That wasn't near as much stuff as I thought. So now we pretty much just have all the parts from the engine that are in here and an aftermarket X-Pike that he included. I don't know if we'll detail this before we get to working on the engine or not, but we'll see. The Vette's in the shop and on the hoist, so maybe we should get started on it. The plan is first is to clean all this crap up. We got to be able to uncover the motor, and I can't really uncover the motor without all this stuff falling in. That leaves no other option other than to grab the shop vac and get to work. Even though there's a piece of plastic over it, doesn't mean things can't get underneath of it. So we're gonna have to pull this head no matter what, because clearly things have been going down the intake runners. That's about as good as it's gonna get. I'm gonna have to wait till Benjamin gets here so we can take this hood off. That way we can start pulling out the radiator and fans and obviously get those cylinder heads off. So I was able to get the hood off this thing by myself. Luckily, everything's super light. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I know nothing about these things. In fact, I'm so dumb when it comes to these, I had to Google where the jack points are on, just so I could get on the hoist. I do know that this is gonna have to come off in order to get the camshaft out. That's not all I was expecting to come off there. I was expecting this to come off too. But I guess that'll work. Huh. Then I have to put this up in the air and see what all I can disconnect from the bottom. Sounds like the radiator's empty. Maybe I'll unhook it first. I've never been a Corvette fanatic, so owning one is a little bit different. But I do like to save cars in general, and I just don't like seeing something like this go to waste. This fan assembly is nearly identical to the 4th gen Camaro. In fact, I'm not so sure that they're not interchangeable. All right. There's antifreeze in it, so that's a plus. So we're hoping the block's okay. I sure hope this isn't the easy part of taking this out. Because if not, we're in for a long repair. Whew. Oh man, I sure hope that's not the easy part. Trying to figure out how these transmission lines work. I'm used to seeing like little clips in them, and these don't have them. They almost look like thread out. So, there's nothing better to do than Google. See if we can get this radiator out. Now what? Oh, get a Y body, they said. Nobody ever said that. Ta-da! It was that easy. I think we're gonna have enough room to get the camshaft out with leaving the AC in.
Really?
Water bubble's coming off. Maybe. I feel like I'm stuck on something.
We're good.
Nope. This is just always messier than I want to be. Ben showed up. He's gonna pull that cylinder head off. So I'm assuming the rag and pinion's gonna have to come off of it.
Why?
There's no way we're gonna pull that balancer off to get the timing cover off in order to.
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
We could probably use a hole saw.
Yeah.
2-piece timing cover. I've had that head off of it.
I know. Yeah, I can.
When I went and looked at it, I pulled that cylinder head off to make sure that that cylinder wasn't rusty.
Wasn't old.
But I think that this size is going to be.
Oh really?
So that's like the major risk when I bought it, was because I couldn't pull this head off, but the timing chain and everything's still hooked up. So that means that the valves would still be open on this side, and the intake was off of it. So I have no clue if it's gonna look rusty or not.
Hopefully it's not. Thank God these heads are aluminum.
Moment of truth, we're gonna pull this head off and see if there's any rust in the cylinders. Oh.
Not the moment of truth.
So maybe not.
There's a bolt.
Oh, we can, never mind. We got a ground to get back there.
There you are.
Oh, nice. Surprisingly enough, this engine's really clean on the inside, so it's kind of a bummer that it ate a lifter. Kind of hard to see, but this rack and pinion's right behind this cooler, and there's 2 bolts here. I think we're gonna have to take it off the tire ends and slide the entire rack out. Ben and I got the rack and pinion out. That was a treat. The cylinder heads are off, just went through the cleaner. So now we just need to get all the old head gasket material out of it. Now we'll literally go look over Ben's shoulder here, and he's trying to get the timing cover off. I pulled the balancer off just a second ago, and now we're getting close to pulling that timing cover off to take a look. I don't know if we can, oh, that came off easy.
Did it? Good.
Yep, came right off. Dirty. What oh yes, that's what I wanted to see. The most exciting thing to see is this oil pump pickup tube. It bolts up top, so we do not have to drop the pan. Should be able to take this off and clock the pump and get the thing out. I'm just hoping that once I get this started, that there's gonna be enough room to get the cam out. That one's 8 on top of it, look at that. I don't think it was just like one lifter, I think it was multiple. Oh wow.
Yeah, that thing's toast.
The whole cam's bad. Almost there, come on. Oh no, we're so close.
Oh no.
Ah, come on, go down. I heard the condenser too bad.
You didn't break the tube.
We didn't break a tube? Please.
There's like a per little.
Oh, purple dent. Okay. You know, these first couple spots where the lifter's at, that just took the top off that lobe. Off this one, and this one, the one down here in the back. 4 spots on this cam. We might just cut open the oil filter to see what it looks like. Make sure that we weren't getting some oil starvation. Don't look at the cam bearings.
I didn't look at them.
I think you're looking at the cam bearings.
I'm not worried about them.
This is a used camshaft out of another Corvette that we got. I guess that a guy upgraded camshafts in his, and then he turned around and gave this guy this camshaft because he was planning on fixing the car initially. And I don't know if he just didn't have time or didn't know how. Either way, we ended up with a Corvette and a camshaft.
Lube it up on camera.
I know what you want to see.
That's where the big money is.
Need OnlyFans for this type of stuff. We'll pull the condenser back so we try to avoid poking a hole in it. Let's see if we can't. There we go, good. We're just putting longer bolts in this so it's a little easier to put in.
Leverage.
Yep, leverage. It's physics. I want to say science. Is science and physics the same thing?
Physics is the subset of science.
Okay, yeah, so they're the same thing, but different. It makes sense if you don't think about it.
A square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square.
Yeah, that's it. So oddly enough, I have all new stuff to put this back together, but it's on another motor I was putting together. So I'm gonna go pull that motor apart so I can put this together because Corvette. Probably could have got a new oil pump, but Benjamin's over here. We pulled the cover off of it and cleaned it out, and nothing's scarred up, so we're just gonna send this one. It'll work until it won't. Put a new timing set on it. Everything else is cleaned up. Probably throw the lifters in it. Be plugging away. Ben's putting the top end back on right now. We're getting ready to put the balancer on so we can put the rack and pinion back in it, but we ran into a snag. So this is the factory balancer, and you can see that it's actually where a groove where the seal goes. Now they don't make a repair kit for this, so we had to go pick up a new one. I've been working on this thing for about 10.5 hours today, and we've just had a lot of little hiccups, and whenever you buy someone else's projects, you never know what you're gonna get. I just showed you that harmonic balancer, and the new one we could not press on. It had a burr in it. I found after trying to press it on the first time, I filed it and made sure with my caliper that it was close to the same size. It appeared to be exactly the same size. It still will not press on. It doesn't matter how hot I get it to install it. It doesn't matter if I use a correct installer tool. I actually ruined one of those. It's not going on enough to actually use an old bolt to draw it on. So I'm starting to wonder if I didn't get a bad balancer. So I'm gonna have to call it a night here, and hopefully I'll have an answer in the morning, because I really want to put that rack and pinion in. As soon as the rack and pinion goes in, it will go smoothly. I think. Maybe. Probably not. Well, it's day 2, and after walking out here this morning, we had a couple hiccups last night, obviously, but now I need to regroup because I just have such a mess. All my tools are out. I just don't even know where I'm going to start this morning. So the best thing to do for me is just to pick up.
I was really hoping to be a lot further than I am today. Yesterday was going really well, but just everything was so dirty. As you can see by the AC compressor, how black it was. It looked like everything was painted black because of the grease.
And all of that oil was caused from a bad crank seal and a worn harmonic balancer. I have a friend bring in a different balancer installer today, and also some telescoping gauges so we can double check this balancer and make sure the taper's actually right. Hopefully I don't have to get another one.
Dave brought his big boy balancer installer, so we'll see if this works. And it's actually going on, so evidently I just don't have the right tools.
On almost all my other LS stuff, I always use the ARP bolts, just because you don't have to worry about 2 passes of torque to yield, but this is what it is. We came with them, we're gonna use them. I just gotta drop these push rods in. And after that, I think I'll have to run to town and get some sensors. I need an oil sending unit, a temperature sending unit, and some new water pump gaskets.
We gotta pull each one of those intake gaskets out and put new ones in.
So where is all of them?
The new ones?
Yeah.
In the package. Nice job. You maxed that right up.
Next side.
Oh, got it.
Into day 2 on this thing. I didn't get as much done on it as I would have liked. I ended up spending most of the time running around central Iowa finding parts. I had to locate a steam vent tube for it. I was missing the rocker pedestals for the driver's side. And yeah, I had to get the harmonic balancer on, AC belt. Let's take a look.
Everything's cleaned up, located a vent tube, had to repair the knock sensor harness.
So I'll keep plugging away on it, and hopefully next time I'm back tomorrow morning, we'll have the intake manifold on it. Luckily, it's a 3-day weekend since it's Memorial Day weekend, so we'll just keep clicking along, and maybe, just maybe, we'll hear it run this weekend.
Day 3, hoping to get this thing sealed up today. As you can see, I'm tapping these stock exhaust manifold bolts. For some reason, the previous owner took the heat shield off. I don't know if it was to access the EGR stuff or whatever it was. But anyways, a couple of these were broke off, and I'm just running a tap through them after drilling them out.
Ironically, this car came with a set of long tubes and a full stainless exhaust. The reason why I'm not doing that is because that means I would have to open up the PCM and delete the cats and delete the EGR. And that's something I don't want to do on this car. I want to keep this as kind of stock as I can. And if you've ridden in a car that has cat deletes, you kind of know that it stinks a little bit. And if I keep this car, which possibility is, I will, it's going to be more of a cruiser car, and I don't want to get out smelling like exhaust.
Just finishing my repair up on this manifold, and as you can see on this one, it's actually rotted out a little bigger. So we're actually going to use a fender washer. That way it kind of goes in there and holds it up.
After doing all this, it made those long tube headers look worthwhile. If you have a radiator out, it never hurts to go ahead and rinse it out. One of those things that if it's there, why not? And you'd be surprised at how much stuff gets stuck in between these fins. Look at all that stuff that's brought to the surface. And after you rinse it out, you'll just take an air hose and blow the rest of that stuff off when it dries.
So not only did we rinse the radiator, when we went to blow it out, all of this stuff came out of that radiator.
I had to make another trip to town, and what I did is I went and grabbed a magnetic drain plug for this. Originally I was going to epoxy a magnet to the pan, but then I was like, it makes sense just to put a magnetic drain plug in it. So Dorman has a couple really strong magnetic drain plugs, and that's what's going to go in it. Surprisingly, the oil looked really good in it, like it was just changed. I almost hated draining it out because it looked that new. Anyways, there is nothing more Corvette than Chevy brake rotors. That's awesome. I'm wrapping it up, putting fluids in it now, and with a little bit of YouTube magic, this is done already. We're getting closer to firing it up, but I'm just hoping for the best. So hopefully there's no weird engine noises. Hook up the battery here at do Corvette and Pinion things. So you'll hear it. Don't worry.
Haven't even got to start it yet. The water pump's already dripping. Probably because it's sat and it's dried out. all together. We're going to give this a shot. Hopefully, this works good. Whoa! It does have a lot of piston slap, which I was expecting, but it's running, so we're gonna see what happens when it gets up to temp. So it threw the belt when I first started, and I think it's because this tensioner is just shot and it's running the belt at an angle coming off here. So we're gonna try it one more time, and if it throws it off again, I guess I'll have to order a tensioner. Way better that time. Oil pressure is good, but it feels like it has a misfire still. All the slap's quieted down, but now there's some type of weird noise. It sounds like it's coming from the water pump, maybe. If it's not that, then it's coming from one of the idlers down there. Took the AC belt off. Sounds much better, but it's still got an idler pulley squeaking over on this side. That makes me feel a lot better, though. Now it's been up to temp, and well, it gave me another treat. We're blowing acorns everywhere out of this thing.
Yeah, because it was sitting under a tree.
It was sitting under a tree?
Do you think the squirrels packed them in there?
No.
You-
I think them folded into it.
How do you think that those fell into the exhaust pipes? I think that either a little ground squirrel or a mouse put them in there.
No, not a mouse. I feel like those well, that one looks like the different kind of one.
Your puppy likes them. The good news is it runs. It did have a lot of piston slap when it started up. It had a couple misfires that kind of scared me. I was thinking that I left something in the cylinders, but what it ended up being is the injectors were sticking, and as soon as it got running, it ran a lot smoother. Right now, I just put a sway bar end link on it that it came with, and I'm bolting up the tie rod ends from when we had the rack and pinion out so I can take it for a spin. I want to drive this just a little bit, even with those noisy idler pulleys, just because I want to make sure it goes through all the gears and it runs okay before I order a water pump that's leaking, 3 idlers, and a tensioner. Actually 2 tensioners, 2 idlers. I'm definitely happy with how smooth it was running after we let it run a little while and get a couple heat cycles in it. Change of plans. Turns out these idler pulleys are about a week out, and I just don't have the time to wait for that. I do have the time, I'm impatient. Correction. Hard for you guys to hear this. We'll see if I can get it up here. The good news is, even though that bearing's noisy, it's not shot as far as a lot of play in it. So it's not burning out yet, but it will if we keep driving it like that. So I woke up this morning and said, why not just pack it myself? Woo-wee. Look at that. All types of crud, just old grease. We're gonna brake clean that out, come back, and actually on this one I think I'm gonna pull both sides. Usually I just pull one side, but this one's bad enough. We're just gonna clean out both sides. Now I've cleaned this one out, and as you can hear, there's actually no squeak to it. So all I'm gonna do is put some high temp wheel bearing grease in it. So after you've smeared grease everywhere, you just push these seals right back in. Grease 4 pulleys and throw it on the car. Oh, come on, start up. There we go. Still hear a little bit of piston slap. But that'll go away as it gets up to temp. See how that piston slap already went away? As it gets warmer, it just gets quieter and quieter. I guess when it warms up, I'll throw some tires on it. If I remember where I put them. I guess the next scary part is seeing if the transmission goes into gear. What? You didn't like that.
Well, it's about that time where you get this thing off the hoist and get this thing moving for the first time, and I don't know how long. Now we're not gonna go too far because it's raining a little bit. I don't want to get this perfectly dirty car dirty. Now this is a first for me. I've never driven a Vette. So here we go. Hopefully we make it home. Got my cell phone, which means nothing, no one's home. Huh. Tires are a little flat spotted. The brakes are rusty. We have all the gears, which is a plus. We're running about 220. Not quite ideal. I don't know where these are even supposed to run. I'm gonna have to Google that. One of the other things I noticed, the fans aren't kicking on. I gotta get on HP tuners, plug those in and see what's going on. If I can turn them on manually, then I have something else going. If I can't, it's a ground issue. Simple as that. Ah! Corvette! This thing is ridiculous on corners. Puts my Camaro to shame with even the shocks and the springs that are on it. I don't know what I think about this. It's just like, things like a go-kart. This thing handles so weird. The steering ratio is so good in it. Temperature is creeping up though. We better head home. It's not in the danger zone yet. We're at like 225. Well, Sylvia and I made it home. What do you think of the new car, Sylv? Clearly, it's boring. Now, the moment of truth. Does the AC work? My golly, it does work. Woo! Gotta have AC in these things. Well, there it is. A $4,000 Vette does run and drive. So is this $4,000 Vette actually $4,000 when it was all said and done? No, but it was close. I have about 400 bucks in my own parts. I was fortunate enough that it came with enough parts to basically get it going. I did have to buy a temp sending unit, an oil sender, a harmonic balancer. Now, additionally, it's gonna need a water pump. It's also gonna need a power steering reservoir. It's missing the bracket and it's broke on this side. So now the question is, do I leave it all dirty and grimy and take it to a car show like this? Drive it around like this? Or do you guys wanna see it cleaned up? Let me know in the comments below. Obviously, if I go to sell it, I am gonna have to clean all that up, clay bar it and buff it out. And of course, no matter what, the interior is gonna get cleaned. This isn't the last time you guys will see this car. The inevitable is it will get cleaned up. I got some other cool things I wanna put on it and kinda make it look better. Not just that, I'm gonna have to give you guys an update on how it's driving and how it's holding up. Anyways, let's close this thing out. Thanks for watching. I appreciate everyone that sat here and watched me bring this thing back to life. If you guys wanna follow more of the transformation of this Vette, please like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.